Welcome back to another video, and in this video we are going to be going over the video where we duo Azelf with just Mismagius. I did this duo with Sparkle Tangerine, but decided to change up the format a little bit. I know I haven't been posting as many raid challenges as I want to, but that's, I don't say not gonna that's going to change, but it's going to change a little bit. I'm definitely going to be posting it. We're going to be posting some interesting Cresselia trios. Just post in the comment section below what trios you want to see, and if it'd be helpful if you post the Poke Battler simulation, so we can see if it's possible or not, or what we need to do to prepare for it. So, anyways. This new format, I'm gonna dive into the numbers, dive into the details, and you guys can take a look at the battles afterwards. So here we have Mismagius with Hex Shadow Ball, and going up against an Extrasensory Swift version of Azelf. The reason why you want Extrasensory Swift is one, Extrasensory is simply a lower hitting, weaker charge move, fast move than Confusion, and then Swift. Mismagius with its ghost typing does double resist Swift, so it's going to do very little damage here. And as you can see here, it's going to be 14.79 feints. If you divide that by 2, since it's a duo, it's going to be like 7.8 or something like that. So you are going to be required to relobby, and you'll see the time to win is 573. With relobby time does make it kind of close. It's not a guaranteed win if you play well, because RNG will still play a little bit to it, but it is also not a super difficult one. And we do have it best friends with no particular weather boost. It would be maybe a little more difficult if it was partly cloudy or windy, and then certainly easier if it was foggy. So we take a look here. The magic number that we want to cross is 25, but since there is relobbying time, we're more looking like 26 and a half, 27 to be able to successfully duo here. And you'll see here that all these ones are around 27, does taper off here, and part of that is the fact that Shadow Ball, it does take a long time to apply its energy, so it's one of those we call like late damage charge moves. So you can see here, it's not necessarily guaranteed that you are going to win. And if we go into the combat log where we do some of the additional analysis here, you'll see that Swift actually only does 17 damage compared to Extrasensory that does 11 because it's not resisted. And as well, Swift is a pretty weak 3-bar charge move as well. So you can see that you're actually probably better off if they do more Swifts, because it will do less damage per second. You see like how long it takes in between charge moves to actually execute them. And you can even see here after the Swift is going to be completed, it takes another 4 seconds, versus typically it only takes 2 seconds between fast moves. So from a damage per second perspective, receiving damage per second perspective, you're better off if they do more Swifts, and then less. So anyways, let's turn over to the battle here. So I'm gonna play it here. Again, I did this duo with Sparkle Tangerine. Follow her on Twitter. It's at Sparkle Tangerine. You can see her Twitter there. And I powered up 5 Mismagius, and she maxed out 4, which is more than enough since we only need 7 a bit. With a relobby, that makes it 8, and it makes it 10 on my end. So a little bit of lag at the beginning, but it's not a problem. Probably a punishment for not doing more raid challenges lately. And you can see the one good thing, Hex sucks compared to Lick or Shadow Ball, which is why Mismagius is not rated higher. If it had Lick or Shadow Ball, it would actually do like pretty decent. But it gets the job done here. So here, but Hex does generate energy pretty quickly. You can see how much energy it's generating, and it's going pretty well. And you can see here, hopefully we can get one more off, especially if this is Swift here. Nope, not able to get that off. Again, you can see the RNG that plays into using Shadow Ball is that if you're not able to get the damage window before the damage is applied to you, then then you're not going to get credit for it, and then you actually end up wasting animation time on your next Mismagius, which slows you down. So again, you don't get the damage, and then as well you didn't do a fast move, and then as well you're slower to getting to your next fast move on your first on your next Pokemon here. So here, hoping for a Swift to come. Nope. Okay, hoping for a Swift to come here. It does. Great. We're able to land that Shadow Ball, which is going to do a ton of damage to Azelf here. And I'm just making sure that we're not rebounding. So that's sometimes why I like a little bit overcharge here, just to make sure that, you know, we're not rubber banding here. And again, we want to cross the third number and into the fourth number. In this case, the second 4 here. By the time we get into the 200 number, if we don't need to relobby, all we need to do is pass the 9, because that's like roughly 1/3 of the HP, and then 200 means that 1/3 of the time is elapsed. But because we need to relobby, we need to be a little bit ahead of that DPS. So that's like the 25 DPS, but because we need to relobby, we're more like 26 and a bit. So it's not, again, not a guaranteed win. You see how little Swift does and how long it takes it to execute that charge move compared to it. So we should be able to flip it on the next Shadow Ball. Before the next Shadow Ball. So 159 flip, which means that we're 9 seconds ahead. If we double that, that's 18 seconds. So again, if like our relobby time plus the amount of health rebound that occurs when you do relobby, see, like bad RNG there. But thankfully I didn't do the Shadow Ball. I don't think I did there, which allowed us to generate energy quicker on the next one. So you can see with 18 seconds, and then with the amount of health rebound and the time it takes to relobby, that's usually borderline safe. I think the latest that realistically flip out, unless you have like incredible RNG on the back half, is like 56, 57. Obviously you can flip it like 51, 52, or even 50 and have like amazing RNG in the back half, but you'd have to do significantly better. So here I manually run away from here so I don't have to click OK, and then scrub move by by not getting rid of my potions and whatnot. I clearly haven't done this in a while, and we get back right back in, and we should be flipping it pretty soon here. And it's a little bit harder. It's easier to tell when you have when your raid boss has 2 types, because you can usually tell when you get close to the second type metal. And we flip it here at 74. So I tell Sparkle Tangerine, tell Steph here that we're in a good position here, because we're able to flip it at 159. We're both relobbied. Like flipping at 74 is fine. We do have to be a little bit ahead of that 25 DPS here, but we get good RNG there. And feint. Ideally, you want to feint with 0 energy. So you want to have already done your charge move here and then feint. But the worst case scenario is actually doing your charge move, again, what I said earlier, and doing the charge move and then not getting it off, because that means you forgoed a charge move here. So again, we're looking good. I think I actually tried to manually switch at one point here to get a little bit more energy. It's doing a lot of extra sensories here, so we should be able to get this one off here. And then I try to pull up the Windows switch, but it's so laggy on the switch. And then, but that's totally fine. And then a little bit of rebounding here. That's totally fine. We just need to get off one more Shadow Ball. It almost cost a snatch there. We get no buttons at 7 seconds. Confetti at 4 seconds. Really fun raid. Again, I'm going to be doing a few more raid challenges than I've done in a little bit. I've been really focused on PvP, which I love as well. But, you know, I really love doing these legendary raid challenges as well. So if you're here on my channel mostly for PvP, hopefully you guys enjoy the occasional video where I'm doing these raid challenges. And if you're here on my channel, subscribe for these raid challenges. Don't lose hope. I am still going to post them, and we're still going to do some fun stuff. And it also post in the comment below if you're going to Chicago, and I will see you there. And we're going to do some fun stuff. So follow Sparkle Tangerine, and she will tell you all about the meetups that we're going to be having, and doing some potential raid challenge days. So I'll see everyone in the next video.